Episode 12, Widows and Weddings. The blade was stayed. The boy was spared. The promise survived the altar. But time, as always, marched on. Sarah lived 127 years. And then she was gone. The tent fell silent. The laughter vanished with her breath. Isaac motherless. Abraham mourning. And Abraham went in to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her. The book of Genesis, chapter 23, verse 2. He sat beside her body, tore his garments, ash on his head, the man who once bargained with God, now bowed under grief. But mourning could not hold him. He rose from the dust and walked to the sons of Heth. I am a sojourner and foreigner among you. Give me property for a burying place, that I may bury my dead out of my sight. The book of Genesis, chapter 23, verse 4. They answered with honor, You are a prince of God among us. Take the choicest of our tombs. None will withhold it from you. But Abraham refused the gift. He would not bury the promise on borrowed ground. He bowed before them and said, If you are willing, speak to Ephron, son of Zohar, that he may sell me the cave of Machpelah at the edge of his field. Let him sell it to me for the full price, as a burial place. Ephron sat among them and answered, No, my lord, I give it to you. The field, the cave, I give it in the presence of my people. Bury your dead. But Abraham stood firm. He bowed low and replied, Listen to me. I will pay the price of the field. Accept it, that I may bury my dead there. Ephron answered, The land is worth 400 shekels of silver. But what is that between you and me? Bury your dead. So Abraham weighed out the silver, 400 shekels merchant's weight, and the field of Machpelah became his. The field, the cave, the trees within its borders, sealed in the sight of all the sons of Heth, a mother buried, a covenant grounded, a seed of faith planted in the land. After this, Abraham buried Sarah, his wife, in the cave of the field of Machpelah. It was made over to Abraham as a possession. The book of Genesis, chapter 23, verses 19 and 20. Years passed, but Isaac took no wife. So Abraham called his servant. An oath was sworn hand beneath thigh. Not a wife from Canaan, but from his people. Go to my country and my kindred, and take a wife for my son Isaac. The book of Genesis, chapter 24, verse 4. So the servant rose, with 10 camels, and all the wealth of his master. He crossed the land, reached the city of Nahor, and prayed, O Lord, let the woman who draws water say, Drink, and I will water your camels also. Let her be the one you have appointed for Isaac. The book of Genesis, chapter 24, verses 12 through 14. And before he finished speaking, she came, a young woman, beautiful, brave, a jar on her shoulder. She drew water. He asked for a drink, and she said, Drink, and I will draw for your camels also. The book of Genesis, chapter 24, verse 19. His heart burned within him. He gave her golden rings, bracelets, and asked, Whose daughter are you? Is there room in your father's house for us to lodge? Her name was Rebekah, daughter of Bethuel, granddaughter of Nahor, Abraham's kin. The servant bowed in worship and followed her home. They feasted. He told the story. And her father and brother said, The thing has come from the Lord. Let her be the wife of your master's son. The book of Genesis, chapter 24, verses 50 and 51. But the next morning, they hesitated. Let the girl remain with us a while, at least 10 days. But the servant pressed, Do not delay me. So they called her and asked, Will you go with this man? And she said, I will go. She mounted the camel and rode into destiny. Isaac lifted his eyes and saw the caravan. And Rebekah, she saw him. Who is that man walking in the field to meet us? The book of Genesis, chapter 24, verse 65. She veiled herself. The servant spoke, told Isaac everything. And Isaac brought her into his mother's tent, and she became his wife, and he loved her. So Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. The book of Genesis, chapter 24, verse 67. In the next episode, Abraham takes another wife, and the grave makes room for a final breath. But the birthright war is only beginning. If you feel the whisper, like, follow. Share it with someone who needs to remember. The garden isn't gone. It's hidden, and the breath is still alive inside you.